Hello YouTube, Dave here again. I'm back with another Pathfinder book product showcase video. I've done a couple of these in the past, one for the Bestiary 2, the second one was for the Game Mastery Guide, and today the book that I'm going to be looking at, as well as some of the accessories that have spun off from it. There is one that I'm missing, I'll mention that when we sort of get to it, but today I'm taking a look at the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Advanced Player's Guide. Now, this was one of the more anticipated books for me when it came to Pathfinder 2nd Edition. The original 1st edition Advanced Player's Guide for Pathfinder was the only other hardcover book that I had owned for that system prior to trading it into a local game store, and with the hopes that it would go to someone that would give it more use than what I was able to. I've since reacquired it, but not the hardcover, but a version of it. But anyway, it was a really, really great book back then, and I think this is a really, really great book today, and something that if you are playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, this is one of those things that after the core rule books, this is the very first thing that I would recommend. This book has all kinds of great stuff in here. I've done reviews of the products I'm going to be showing here today already, or I've done flip-throughs for the book itself, so I'm not going to go into that here, but this book is filled with some new ancestries, like the Tengu, which is like this crow-like humanoid. You have kobolds. You have like catfolk, I think, are in here as well. But you also have what are referred to as versatile heritages. So those are things such as like the Damphir, which is like the half vampire. You have a changeling, which has your blood your ancestry is sort of mingled with doppelgangers. And they also have things like the Aasimar and the Tiefling. So it's just really, really cool. And with the versatile heritages, you can apply them to any of the ancestries. You don't have to be a human like you do sort of with half-orc or half-elf. So I really like that aspect of it. You also have new classes in here. There's like the Oracle, the Swashbuckler, the Witch, and there was the fourth one that I always keep forgetting, the Investigator. So different types of classes there. All the existing classes and ancestries have new options in the way of feats. Some maybe new, there's new archetypes, which sort of takes the place of traditional multi-classing in a way that I think is much better and more balanced. So there's all kinds of those in there. There's new equipment, there's new spells. This is just overall a really fantastic book. So the regular edition hardcover, which is what we're looking at here. So this is sort of the standard version. You should be able to get this anywhere. It retails for $49.99 US. And in Canada, I think it was about $10 more, $10 to $12 more. So it was in the $60 range for the Canadian price. But it is well worth it for all the great stuff that was included in here. Now, this particular version of the book was actually sent to me by Paizo for the purposes of doing a review. I don't think I used this book, though, in the review video that I had done. Because they sent it without us actually discussing it, so I wasn't aware that it was coming, and I knew things were sort of busy with like the pandemic, and I didn't want to be a bother. So I actually ended up picking up, and this is the first time I've been able to show this because I've mentioned it in some of the other videos, but this is the first time I could actually show one because I had picked up the collector's edition or special edition Advanced Player's guidebook from my local game store. They had recently reopened at the time that this came out, and I had some store credit still built up, so I was able to get this for a really decent price. The price isn't on here. The Canadian price, had I paid full retail, was like $90. I think it's like $65 US. I think that's the price. I can't remember exactly, but I know it was like a $90 book Canadian. However, like I said, I had quite a bit of store credit built up, so this only ended up costing me like around $30. So that's why I jumped at this. I would have bought the normal cover had they had it. This was the only version of the book that they had, but I can finally sort of show what these books look like. So you've got, it sort of looks like a fake leather book, so it sort of has that old-timey, look to it. Has the gold lettering and some detail work and a border around here. It's really, really cool. 2nd edition Pathfinder Advanced Player's Guide. On the spine, again, it has the gold leaf, I think is what it is, gold lettering, Advanced Player's Guide. And then on the back, you just have like the Paizo golem, which I've always loved that symbol. I thought that looked really cool. And again, you just have like the border with the detail work there. The contents of the book, the pages and everything are the exact same. I want to say that the core rulebook actually had gold leaf on the edges of the pages, but I'm not 100% on that, so don't quote me on that. But this one does actually include two of these built-in bookmarks, so it's great to have actually more than one. So if you have a class that you're using and maybe some feats or an archetype that you're using, you can actually mark both of those pages with these two different built-in bookmarks. Which is really great. So aesthetically, it's a really nice looking book. Again, I love the faux leather look to it there. Like I said, it sort of looks like a worn leather book. The gold lettering and everything is really, really cool. Actually, again, it's kind of hard with the ring light that I have here, but just during the daytime, if the sunlight comes in and hits it, it reflects off the gold really nice. It's a really cool looking book, and the US price is only a few dollars more. The Canadian price unfortunately gets a little bit more up there, but I think the US price is only like $15 more. So for $15 more, you get a really cool looking book. They are shrink wrapped as well, and on the back I think it's just black and white, but it's just a backing that looks similar to what we have on the back here that has your barcode for scanner purposes. But really, really cool stuff. So that is the special edition version of the book and the regular edition version of the book. So that's the book itself, but it has spawned a few other accessories, products. So the first one, I don't have it, so I'm just going to say right now there is an Advanced Player's Guide pawn set. So the pawns are the two-dimensional, like the cardstock, stand-ups with the artwork on it, so it would have been based off of the different ancestries and heritages included in here, as well as the classes, and probably some of the ancestries and heritages designed for the classes from the core rulebook. So it's great. Pawn sets are awesome. I wish I had it, just none of the stores in my area have gotten it in, or at least none of the stores that I feel comfortable going to, just based on where they're located, and with the pandemic still an issue. There's just certain places that I don't feel comfortable going to based on numbers and stuff like that. So, but the books in my area that I have, or the stores that I've gone to in my area that would be getting Pathfinder 2nd edition stuff in, they have not gotten them in yet. So it's just a pawn collection. I don't know what the price is. I think you get, I think it's like 6 or 8 sheets. Might be a little bit more of the tokens, which are really great to use, and they're a very cheap way to build a very decent collection of miniatures. So it is something that I do recommend. I like to use miniature-based combat for just keeping track of everything. So it's something that I hope to get. It's just not available in my area at this point in time. So I was gonna wait to do the video until I got it, but there's just no guarantees on when it's gonna come in. So there is a pawn set out there. It's just the Advanced Player's Guide pawn collection. The cover art for the product looks just like the rule book itself, so it just has that art on it, and it's one of those things you'd have to get a base set as well, like the bases, because I think it's just the pawns, but you can get the bases in some other products like the Bestiary 1 pawn collection. So there are ways to get those, but that is something that did come out for it. Another product that we have are the Advanced Player's Guide character sheet pack. So for the core rulebook, we had a pack of character sheets. I'm not going to go through it again here because, like I said, I've done a full review where I've looked at all the different sheets included, but you have ones for each of the new classes that are introduced, as well as some variant versions of the character sheet for just any class to use, including a stripped down and simplified one, which is really, really cool. But for the ones with the actual classes, what they do is any abilities that are predetermined, like ones that aren't based on the choices that you make. They would be included in the actual character sheet at the level that you would get them at. So for example, the swashbuckler would have like the panache thing already filled in. It also fills in all of your starting proficiencies, so your training level in weapons, armor, your skills that you get automatically from the class, as well as saving throws and perception. That's already done for you, so you just have to fill in the stuff that essentially are choices that you get to make. So really, really cool stuff. The retail price for this is $15 or $14.99 US. It was only a couple dollars more Canadian, so again, very, very worthwhile. And it does come with a nice folder that everything is in. And the backs of it actually do have some things that you can use just for like actions, skill actions, hero points. So there's a lot of great information contained in here as well. That's super useful for players. So this is a fantastic product to get as well. We also have the Advanced Player's Guide spell cards. So the Paizo spell cards are awesome. I've done several videos for them already, including a review of the Advanced Player's Guide spell cards. I'm going to try to remember to take all the Player's Guide products that I've shown here and actually make a playlist for them that I can include at the end of the video if you want to jump to the actual reviews. But these are really, really great. They are broken up by the different traditions, magic traditions. So you have Arcane, Divine, Occult, and Primal. And you also have the focus spells for the different classes, including the new ones that are in the book. And they are color-coded to match the color schemes of the individual spell card sets from the Arcane, Divine, Primal, and Occult and all that stuff. So this is really, really awesome. They also have multiple copies. So if a spell in the Advanced Player's Guide appears on the Arcane and Divine spell list, for example, both of those sections of cards in this product will actually have that same spell card. So you have the duplicates that you need. You don't have to take from different traditions to get the spells properly, which is really, really great. Again, each of the card sets do have extra room in them. So if you wanted to break up the different cards based on the traditions, then you could do that and put them all together with the original sets they came in. The focus spells, I think, are the only one that you can't do that for because there's a ton of them, and there wasn't a lot of extra room in that one, but it's still, again, a really awesome product. The retail price on this was $24.99 US, and I think it was $34.99 Canadian, so about a $10 difference. But definitely well worth it. They also use the backs of the cards for spells that have longer descriptions. So there may be a few spells where they still tell you which page to look at in the Advanced Player's Guide if there's information that can't fit on two sides of a card. But that's few and far between, and it's great that they'll actually use the back of the card to give you as much information as possible before you have to actually open up the book to find it. So really, really useful, handy product. And yeah, the spell cards are some of the best accessories that I've seen compared to other companies' spell cards for other games. The Pathfinder ones are above and beyond what those ones are. So really, really awesome stuff. All right, and of course, the way that we ended this video is the way that we ended the last one, and if I recall correctly, it's also the way that I ended the Bestiary 2 book showcase video, but we also have the newly released Advanced Player's Guide Pocket Edition. So I've talked about Pocket Editions exhaustively and at length, to the point where people are probably going to get sick of hearing me talk about these, but every time I mention a Pocket Edition in a video somewhere, I do get some new questions about it, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to answer some of the ones that we have here. So the Pocket Editions are half the price of the hardcover. So the original hardcover, the standard edition, had a US retail price of $49.99, so the $50. This is $24.99 or $25. The Canadian price was around $32, I think. So it was again, very, very decent price. But everything inside the book is 100% completely the exact same. It's scaled down, so it's the page references and everything are the exact same. The amount of text on each page is the exact same. So if you're using other books that reference these, like Adventure Paths or maybe some future releases that come out, if you only have the pocket edition, the page reference will still be 100% accurate, which is great. The one downside with the pocket editions, where they are sort of smaller and they are scaled down, the print is a bit finer than what we would have in the full-sized hardcover book, obviously. So I've had someone ask if it bothers, because I've had issues with with eye strain and stuff like that in the past, specifically when it comes to reading PDFs off a computer screen. But I've had someone ask, what my thoughts are on the print size in these pocket editions. And I will say that if you do have problems with small text, and if small print does give you eye strain, then do not get the pocket editions. Go for the hardcovers because they will have the larger text. But I actually use the pocket edition core rulebook for the current Pathfinder games that I'm playing in as a player. And even as a game master, I would be using the pocket editions as well. So the rulebook, the bestiaries, the game master guide, and now the advanced player's guide. And the one thing I will say is you get used to it. The first time I really tried to read a pocket edition book, it was actually one of the first edition Pathfinder books. And it did sort of make my eyes go a little wonky at first, but I did adjust to it, I did get used to it, and now I have no problem reading through these, and I really enjoy using them. I have limited space when I set up to run my games because they're online, so I have to have my laptop, and if I'm running, I have to have like a grid so I can put minis on there and just sort of keep everything straight and have room for dice, have room for books, have room for my notes. So the pocket editions are really, really handy for that. So like I said, for me, I got used to reading the smaller print, and I don't have any issues going back and forth now with the books. So again, I do recommend the pocket editions. If you are on a budget, if you have limited space to store your books, if you just don't want to, commit the funds to the hardcover book and, travel around with it, and you don't want your covers to get damaged, this is something I would just throw in my backpack and take to a place when the time comes that I'm able to actually go outside. And run games in public. Again, these are the books that I will be taking with me. You can take care of them, right? Like I haven't had any issues with any of mine getting damaged, so you just pack them carefully. But yeah, I really, really like these, and I will always say that the pocket editions are great natural follow-up products to people that start with the beginner box. I don't know why. I feel that way. It's just, to me, it just seems like a perfect match. It could just be because they came out, like the beginner box came out and then they started releasing the pocket editions. So maybe I just, connect the dots in my mind. But, the budget version, they're great for, again, for younger players, having a book. If they're going to be reckless with a book, it's better if they're reckless with a $25 book than a $50 or $65 book. So, there is that. But I don't know, I just feel that the two just go really well together for some reason. And for me personally, I just always have this thing about just miniaturized versions of stuff that I just kind of like. So having the pocket editions are really cool. So yeah, I really, really like those, but that's all I'm going to talk about pocket editions in this video. So that was, like I said, the Pathfinder 2nd edition product showcase. The only thing that I'm missing is the Pawn collection, which I do hope to get someday, but I'm not going to hold out for that, just because I don't know when that's going to happen. And I just got the pocket edition today, so I felt that it was the perfect time to put this video out. So let me know in the comments below if you have any of these products yourself, if you've been using like the character sheets or the spell cards, or if you've made characters using the versatile heritages from the Advanced Player's Guide, or the classes from them, or just, what your experiences with the book are. Because I always love to hear how everyone else gets to experience these products. Paizo does an awesome job with their books and their accessories. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about them. And the Advanced Player's Guide is one of those really just sort of pivotal books for Pathfinder 2e that I just cannot recommend enough. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Take care.